Hey everybody, Steven here, and today we're going to be talking about a technique I use to improve the flat-footed squat. So flat-footed squat is just you seated all the way down. So Wes is my client here that I'm going to have go ahead and showcase just the squat itself right now. So in this position, when we have a lack of mobility, ankle dorsiflexion that could be related to the hips and then the spine itself, you'll see in this position there's a lot of curvature in the spine. So go ahead and stand back up. So one of the ways to help improve that and just get strong in the bottom position here is a technique that typically they'll use in the Russian Kettlebell Certification or StrongFirst, as well as another area that I've seen this. But in terms of weight, 10 pounds all the way up to 35, unless you're just insanely strong, I don't recommend going really, really heavy with this. We're really just using the weight as a counterbalance, so that you can actually build a radiation or tension to make sure that you own the position, this bottom position here. So go ahead and grab this. You're gonna do this in goblet squat position for this. So if you do have a kettlebell, I'm gonna be holding like this, and I'm gonna be trying to pull this apart, essentially creating tension here. So I'm using my lats to hold this. If I don't, and I only have a dumbbell, that's okay. I can grip right here, or I can grip like this. If I grip like this, I can try to pull apart a little bit, but it may not feel comfortable. If I'm just here, just create some tension itself, which is what we're gonna do anyways. So go ahead and come down into the seated squat, and you'll go as low as you can, and your elbows will go tight. And I'd actually have you go a little bit wider with your stance so that you can really just sink into the middle. So he's gonna go back into that seated squat. Once he's here, the weight itself is creating a counterbalance. So you'll notice that position gets a little bit better and you can hold this a little bit longer. Two parts to this though, relax everything. If he relaxes everything, you'll see the sinking, right? So this would be passive, right? Second portion of this though is going to be creating as much tension with my body, we call that a radiation, as possible. So now he's going to build slowly. 20% tension with the body, 40%, 60, 80, and then we just say highest, safest, max effort. He's driving his knees out. He's trying to bring his back as upright as he can get it. He's keeping his neck neutral is the other thing, so you don't see him tilting his head way back or tucking his chin a bunch. And then he's trying to pull apart the kettlebell. In this position, he's gonna hold it 5, 10, 15, 20 seconds. And what he's trying to do is essentially build strength here through an isometric hold. So we'll hold that, and then he can relax everything again. So go ahead and relax. What you may notice is that you sink deeper into that squat if it's a position that you're struggling with. In terms of reps, we would do maybe 5 to 10 with this, just for this variation right here. And the big thing is, I wanna be strong at that bottom position, right? So a lot of people will just go from the top. They'll have a little bit of strength, will come down. At a certain point, they'll actually just fall to their end range, this being that position. And they don't actually hold this with a lot of form or strength, essentially. They just kind of like relax into it. So for this, we would say that that would be a flexible state versus mobility, where they're actually in an active state. So with this, we have that variation. Second thing that we could do in this position is you could actually leverage the weight forward and let it drop. And as he does that, two different ways. One is like he just did right here, where he kind of shifted it. And that would be fine because he could hold his body here. And the other one would be he would actually tilt the kettlebell. So this essentially would be pulled up and he's just touching the handle, right? In this position here though, he's gonna hold the position, his arms are long, it's a bottom lever, and then he's gonna bring his chest up against that as much as he can. Same thing, right? I would then relax to that, or for some people that may not be something that they can do, I would essentially hold that, keep my form, pull this back to me, holding that tension, right? And then I would do that for reps. Same thing, 5 to 10 reps with this. So he'll keep his form, he'll go down. He'll try to then lift his chest up more if he can, hold that, 5, 10 seconds, and then he would pull this back. If I have a dumbbell, I could do the same thing, get my hands close without smashing my hands. Maybe I put a pillow down to rest it on that. The big thing that I wouldn't ever have him do is hold this up in the air. That is just gonna put a ton of tension on my lower back, and that's what I don't want. This here is just an anchor so that I can bring my chest up, my spine more aligned with this, driving out on my knees, pulling my hips more underneath me, right? So we do this really as a mobility exercise, and so that you actually have strength at this end range. You can pull it back up. and then go ahead and hop out with that. Woo! I'm gonna have you face forward and just showcase the first one really, really quick. So coming all the way down, we are gonna see that the hips tuck underneath the body. We're relaxed. Then we build a radiation, 20, 40, 60, 80, highest, safest, max effort, pushing the knees out. And I'm not pushing them out with my elbows, I'm physically driving the knee out, pulling this apart, pulling my chest up as high as I can, hold, and then we can relax and try to sink deeper into the position. Good, go ahead and pull out for me. So that's gonna be this movement right here. This is, like I said, really for technique in the bottom position of the squat, where I see a lot of people, they'll go from the top, they fall to the bottom, and we just don't have that strength there. And if I'm going from mobility, an active range of motion, and I'm essentially going down and then falling to an end range where I don't have a lot of control, a lot of mobility here, and I'm under a lot of load, and we see that everything kind of breaks down, we just increase the potential for an injury, and that's what we don't want to happen. So that's it for this video, guys. If you like the video, hit the like button for me. If you want to continue to follow along with all of my content, hit the subscribe button for me. Thanks so much for watching.